So right now, we're going to hear from one of the speakers we had at the car parade. And I want Nick to introduce her because she's a great example of exactly how important these programs are. And then you're going to hear from her story after that.
So Anna Snyder, if you had joined us at the in-person event on October 4th, is an incredible human being. A testament to the resilience of the human spirit, and a testament to the fact that your most difficult moments in life, I've had them personally, they're surmountable. So when we first started our Zoom support groups in the very beginning of the pandemic, we weren't sure that we were on to the right thing. And Anna, who had just survived her suicide attempt, came in a hospital bed, and I looked at Debbie and I said, we're doing the right thing." And one of the groups is called Alternatives to Suicide, like we had spoken about. It's one of our partnerships,
Yeah.
And it is just a safe place to come and talk about the fact that suicide is common. Everyone just thinks it isn't because we don't talk about it. So
you have two people who have both survived attempts here.
Yep.
Just so we didn't get to that earlier, but there are two people with lived experience, and
I wonder if everybody thinks we look like that. But
there's no
look to a mental health condition.
No.
There's no look to thinking that you might not want to live anymore. It's just that sometimes there's difficult moments, and we can get through them.
Yeah.
It's just that the Suicide Prevention Task Force and NAMI are here to let you know that you can get through them, but you don't have to do it alone. So we're going to hear a bit of Anna's story right now.
Yeah.
My name is Anna Snyder. I'm a mental health advocate and suicide attempt survivor. I've struggled with mental health conditions my entire life. I saw my first therapist and took my first antidepressant at 8 years old. I didn't receive a full and accurate diagnosis until I was 26 years old. My mental health conditions affect me in ways profound and mundane every day. I've spent my life battling against the aspects of my mental health that I can affect and integrating into my identity and lifestyle the basic realities of being a person with mental illness that I just have to accept. I've gone through many ups and downs in my life, gone through many periods of terrible depression. I went through one of the worst depressions in my life in 2019. It seemed only to get darker and more painful as the year wore on. In the fall, I was running out of hope. I had to take medical leave from college. Then I suffered a series of traumas, one right after the other. In January 2020, I entered a treatment program in Tennessee to try to stabilize my mental health. The facility and I turned out not to be a good fit, which further destabilized my mental health. I checked myself out and caught a flight home. I thought about killing myself at the airport in Tennessee. I thought about killing myself at the airport in Philadelphia. My mom picked me up and we argued in the car on the way home. I wanted to kill myself right then and there. So I texted one of my best friends and I told her how I was thinking of killing myself. And she said, "I'm sorry, Anna, I don't know how to help you." Then I did it. I jumped 30 feet off an overpass to what I thought would be my death. I arrived at the hospital on January 29th, and I saw my last visitor the day I was transferred to my first nursing home on March 13th. Because of COVID-19 protocols, I spent 4 months institutionalized, alone in a hospital bed without being able to see visitors. NAMI meetings became a lifeline for me. They offered me an opportunity to process my grief and trauma when I was unable to access behavioral therapy. They gave me a community to share and celebrate recovery milestones with. They sent me care packages of candy, snacks, and other goodies. NAMI meetings made me feel less alone during a time of deep isolation, and I will always be grateful to them for that. On July 14th, insurance cut me from the second nursing home, and I moved out of my own to start building a life worth living. I was reunited with my incredible, perfect dog, Maisie, also friends and family, I guess. I started taking my physical therapy really seriously, and I got really into watching the Stanley Cup playoffs. I also learned a lot about myself. I want to share with you some of the things I've learned since my suicide attempt. And I hope that you can remember these ideas if you're ever in a place where you ever want to act as impulsively as I did. Because suicide is usually an impulsive act. It's a response to intense emotions and an attempt to control what we no longer feel in control of. If you're in a suicidal crisis because you believe that things are so awful that they could never get better, give yourself a reality check. Stop. Literally stop moving. Take a step back and question the stories your emotion mind is telling you. Ask yourself, have you overcome struggles like this or worse in the past? Ask yourself, do you have the tools in your toolbox that you could use to help you start to overcome this? Are you smart, resourceful, creative? Do you have friends and family to rely on? Do you have a doctor or therapist you could call? And never forget that there's always the crisis hotline. Ask yourself, is this really forever? Emotion mind makes it feel as if our present circumstances are the only reality, but wise mind tells us that suffering can't last forever. In truth, the only constant is change. Ask yourself, can it get better? There are steps we can take to improve our conditions, even small ones. If we choose life, choose to fight on, choose continuous growth and change, we can meet incredible new friends we never would have met. We can realize lifelong dreams. We can impress even ourselves with how we'll impact the world. We can have amazing experiences we never would have imagined. And we can have mundane experiences that are nevertheless worthwhile. The other day, I texted my best friend to tell her about a burp that she would be proud of, and I was struck that I had almost stolen that moment from both of us. I also learned how deeply suicide impacts the people around us. My family has suffered immensely as a result of the suicide attempt. My oldest friend told me that she never would have gotten over it if I had died. I felt so alone in the months leading up to my suicide attempt. But after my suicide attempt, I realized just how many people cared for me. People I hadn't spoken to in years came out of the woodwork to visit me or call me or send me a card. I never felt so loved in my life. The two lessons that I took from that are, 1, you're never as alone as you feel, and 2, reach out, whether you're the one struggling or not, because human connection is the most important thing in this world. Thank you.
Our congressman has awarded you with a commendation, and it's in recognition of sharing your inspiring story of survival, for your efforts in spreading awareness, and for suicide prevention. And I couldn't be more proud to know you. If I revealed my true identity, to say why I'm so proud of you, but Anna, we love you just as much as you love us. So it's an honor to give this to you on behalf of Congressman Fitzpatrick.
This is really cool.
If Anna isn't a testament to why we do what we do, and if her story seemed like it was incredible, it is incredible. But it's a story that we share, especially in a group like Alternatives to Suicide and our general peer support groups. We don't know what people are carrying around with them when they do their day-to-day. And it's an important reminder that kindness, we ask people to reach out when they need it. It's difficult to do that. It's really difficult to do that. But we hope that after tonight, it makes it just a bit easier to reach out when you know who the help is.
Yes. No, and that was our hope, is that we can humanize the people helping, right? Mm-hmm. Anna was incredible to meet. She was an incredible story. And she's in her conversation about recovery is, and learning to love life and appreciate what life is, even when it's difficult, is exactly what we're trying to share.
Anna helped us to get through this pandemic. Thinking or knowing that what we were doing mattered helped the helpers to get through. So, Anna, if you're watching, we love you and appreciate you.
And thank you again for being a hero, among a few other heroes.